Hello. This is my first video at the Engineer Live Studio, and I'm thinking to start off and kick off this channel by talking about um, as a 20 something person, someone in their 20s, I would love to put out my mistakes, my financial mistakes, especially my embarrassments. And hopefully, this will gonna help out other people not to do them. But at the same time, I would like to express that there are some value systems that are shifting at this very moment in the world, and it's very important that we share experiences, hacks, and tips on how to navigate this new normal, this new world that we're entering. So before I embark into a series of rants, because I believe that's gonna be a very ranty, chatty kind of channel, I would like to talk about an interesting craze of mine lately is that I've been following the ins and outs of anti-work based on the Reddit subreddit r/anti-work. I've been reading a lot of the comments, a lot of the posts right there, and coming from someone who lived in the US, so I do understand the context behind the posts, especially the ones that are based in the US. I do understand where the people come from, and I would like to share some of my thoughts about that. So, perhaps the word anti-work itself um, had has a little bit of a connotation. So, if you look at it from an industrial point of view, anti-works means like you just want to be a leech. You want to be a leech on the system. A lot of people are working, paying taxes, and then you, especially you, want to be anti this a lot of hardworking individuals and families and people, population of hardworking, diligent and obedient people, workers, and you, especially you want to be a disobedient kind of a worker, right? So I think that the connotation from the word itself is already problematic. That's the beginning. So anti-work. You do not want to work. You want to leech. This is how it comes off. You don't want to leech. You want to leech on the system. You do not want to contribute to the common good. You want to wreck the system to the point that no one is gonna be able to live in a decent manner. So that is one view that perhaps that can be understood by different political parties or industrialists, because that's how they might be seeing it. But I also understand from the other side is that the anti-work basically is that I am against being exploited. I am against being used and abused and reused and recycled. I am against working a minimum wage or below minimum wage or some form of agreement, a deal that is a bad deal. I am against working my health off. I am against working a way that I won't be able to see my children grow. I won't see my parents. I won't be able to take care of my family. That is also a sentiment from the other side of the spectrum, which is I am anti-exploitation, which I believe that the Reddit forum kind of shines on that. How people get fired in an inhumane way, how people get hired in such a weird way, the management and the middle management, and how they are disrespectful and all that type. And why am I starting these series in the Engineering Live Studio with anti-work? Is because there is a loose causality or a loose correlation between anti-work and financial independence and early retirement, especially early retirement. So when you come around and say I'm an early retired individual, they go like, but why? Why are early retired at the age of plus 20, right? So that is also a problem because early retirement is shunned upon if you're not 65, and that's also an interesting point of view. So yeah, the recent situation with anti-work is that people have awakened from a slumber sleep, I guess, because of the COVID situation. they realize that they missed out on life. I really personally think, this is my own view, that people started to realize that there is something more than work, especially in the US, where you live to work. And it's not like uh, you live to work to live, some form of that. So basically, your life is a work. You wake up, you go work, and it's not only one job. I had friends who had three jobs, for goodness sake. And that is typical. That is a typical day, like three shifts, and different domains, different industry, just to support the minimum decent lifestyle. And that makes the, the young person, or the middle-aged American extremely somehow stolen from the life itself, like from actually enjoying time with family, getting to know each other, getting to know young ones of our family, traveling, eating decent food properly, not on a rush, and all of that, all of the perks of actually living, right? So I believe that COVID has awakened in us, a lot of us, the notion and the importance of actually trying to discover what life is all about. What is life? As a ex-workaholic, I would say that I started to realize that I don't know myself aside from my resume, which is catastrophic for a person. The only thing I know is that what I've been accomplishing. So I don't know myself. I was not sure what was my favorite color, and that is terrible. And if you think about it, how are you going to date other people if you're not even interested in yourself to begin with? If you can't be interested in other people if you don't even know how to conversate, because there's nothing in here. And it's not like we're all void. We became void. And there is a personality that we have to figure it out, and we are not, somehow we're not given time to get to know ourselves and the people that we love and the people that we care about. Is because we're working all the time. So I do empathize with the idea that awakening, that mass awakening that's happening, of people quitting, the great resignation, people actually trying to figure out how to navigate life without contributing everything that you are into a job. And I should put a disclaimer right here, is that a job and a career are not the same. But then if a career eats all your, your fruitful life or fruitful hours, then it's also a job, because you are not able to step off the hamster wheel. So that is also an important, this kind of a way to distinguish where you're a little bit far too off. So the idea of FIRE, financial independence and early retirement, financial freedom, FF, is to actually learn to live. And that is the main topic of this channel, is how in the world are we going to share each other's tips and tricks on understanding what life itself, how to engineer life, how to, figure out what really matters to us without that drain, that financial drain and obligations that come along with it. So, what do you think about anti-work? Is it a hostile anarchist movement? Or is it something that has to be a little bit fleshed out, like a little bit of more discussion among the community and the people who actually are having affinity with anti-work movement? So let me know by posting some of your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and adios amigos, bye.